Hey everyone, Coach Investor back to another video for today. So I'm smiling because finally, Meta's reaction, well, the stock market's reaction to Meta's earnings report is finally positive. At the time of making this video, the stock is up around 18%. Now, of course, that could move after the earnings call, which they will probably talk about expenses, the metaverse, maybe WhatsApp for once. Hopefully we'll get some information about that and make a completely different video if something extraordinary is mentioned during that video. Now, why is the stock up so much when they missed on earnings per share actually, but they beat on revenue? Well, it's because one, costs are getting under control, projections as well, and two, well, the company is still growing, believe it or not. So we're gonna have a look at all of that. If you enjoy this type of videos, I would really appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you have not. And then if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. So let's start with the big numbers right here. So advertising revenue by user geography. So I've got the numbers here at the side. So revenue of $32.17 billion, which is this one right here. The one above is advertising. So this is the revenue that beat by $480 million. They actually missed earnings per share by 48 cents. So we've got that out of the way. Of course, Q4, as we've seen with Snapchat as well, Q4 is usually a big quarter, but it's nice to see that we're almost back at those levels Q4 2021. Now, if we scroll back down, of course, we can see that family of apps revenue, still the majority, no surprises there. Reality Lab revenue, yes, Q4 again is their biggest quarter. It is down year over year. And when you look at the losses there, they have actually increased. So we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to that. Now, operating margin is still at 20%. So it has not decreased more, which is a small positive. We've seen this with Pinterest as well when it started to bleed when it comes to monthly active users and suddenly it stabilized. Well, stabilizing is already a big positive for the market. So maybe that's why we are seeing such a positive reaction as well. Now, total income from operation is up quarter over quarter. Of course, it is down close 50% or so year over year. But maybe now we might be seeing, well, Facebook going back to its normal state. Because when it comes to expenses as a percentage of revenue, we can finally see here, of course, we've had some increases over the last couple of quarters, but now it's been, well, a quarter of basically being flat. Cost of revenue has gone up, but if you look at R&D, that has come down 3%. Sales and marketing is flat, and then G&A is flat as well. Of course, with the huge layoffs, we should be seeing those effects in the coming quarters. Now, I've got some more information here with regards to what they expect for 2023. So they expect full year 2023 total expenses will be in the range of $89 to $85 billion. That's lower from their prior outlook of $94 to $100 billion due to slower anticipated growth in payroll expenses and cost of revenue. Remember, cost control was extremely important here, especially looking at Meta platforms. So that's another reason why the stock is up so much. And then they expect capital expenditures to be in the range of $30 to $33 billion, lowered from their prior estimates of $34 to $37 billion. So there is that. And now for revenue for the next quarter, they expect first quarter 2023 total revenue to be in the range of $26 to $28.5 billion. Consensus is $27.25 billion. So of course they give this range. Consensus is just in the middle of that. Let's see if they can beat it. Now, of course, this would mean that we might see a flat-ish year when it comes to capital expenditure growth. So that's okay. And now here comes the numbers of, well, users, the daily active users, the monthly active users, etc. So the family of apps here, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, WhatsApp, and so on. So we are still growing here, 2.96 billion in Q4. But if we look at daily active people as part of the monthly active people, we're still at the same percentage here, 79%. Now, if we go even further, family monthly active people, we're sitting at 3.74 billion And look, it's still growing, even though they are reaching their highest, let's say, total addressable market when it comes to people that have access to the internet, that are not under the age of, I don't know, 10 or something like that, or over the age of 70 or 80. So you're probably reaching your total addressable market right now if you have here family monthly active people of 3.74 billion. So of course, at some point, that growth might stop. That's because, well, they've reached everyone they can reach. Now, when it comes to their type of ARPU, so family average revenue per person, you can see here a nice little uptick there. Of course, that's because Q4 is usually a good quarter, but we're still not far, but we're still not at those levels back in 2021. We're at those levels back in 2020. And now when it comes to specifically Facebook daily active users, we've reached 2 billion users. We can see here growth in every area. So rest of the world, Asia Pacific, Europe, US, and Canada. Now, of course, the percentage here, daily active users to monthly active users, still around 67%. But again, Facebook, who still uses Facebook? Well, apparently 2 billion people. And from a monthly active user standpoint, we're nearing the 3 billion people mark. So pretty good metrics here. Now, when we go and look at ARPU for Facebook specifically here, again, we can see the same effect here for a Q4 quarter, little increase over Q3, still not at those levels of 2021, but hopefully we will be getting there. Now, when it comes to free cash flow, huge increase from Q3 to Q4. We're now at $5.28 billion in free cash flow. That's also more than Q2 of 2022, but of course, still far away from where we were back in 2021. But it is pretty nice to see that here net cash provided by operating activities, that big uptick there. Of course, there's still a long way to go. We all know this. It's nice to see that, well, the stock is up over 100% since its lowest point. I made a video about that, by the way, around that period, why I bought more shares, and 3 things smart investors should know about Meta. Of course, it's always the loudest, there's the most noise near the bottom. We've seen this with Tesla, we've seen this with Netflix as well, probably some other companies out there as well. With Meta, if you looked at the business, if you listened to what management was saying, of course, it's been a rough ride, but near that bottom, you saw things get a bit better, or at least announced to get a bit better. And now we're basically getting a semi-confirmation here. Now, I do want to mention one last thing from Mark here. So our community continues to grow, and I'm pleased with the strong engagement across our apps. Facebook just reached the milestone of 2 billion daily actives. The progress we're making in our AI discovery engine and Reels are major drivers of this. Beyond this, our management team for 2023 is the year of efficiency, and we're focused on becoming a stronger and more nimble organization. I promise you this right here, year of efficiency, is what the market loved to see and hear. Now, of course, there's still a long way to go. There's no point of hiding that. Now, during the call, what a lot of people will probably ask and want to hear is how Instagram Reels is doing, monetization-wise. How is WhatsApp doing? Messaging there, is that business still growing pretty fast? Yes or no? And then just the general sense of how they're feeling in 2023. I think those are the 3 big points I will be looking out for. Again, I'll make a separate video about the earnings call, but to me, again, this is an okay, good quarter, let's say, for Meta, coming after a couple of quarters of, well, being below average. It's pretty nice to see and hear. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about this quarter? Do you have a position? Have you been buying lately? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoy this type of videos, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.